It's the water, the molecule, nature is weight, yeah? Weight. So that is nature. Nature, the fires, the water's nature. So everything they have nature, So therefore now what is nature of our mind? Clarity, awareness. That is nature of our mind. Fire nature, clarity, awareness? No. Water nature could be clarity, awareness? No. But our nature mind is heat and burn? No. Okay, then what is nature of mind? Clarity, awareness. So everything they have phenomena had some true nature. The nature cannot change. Nature cannot destroy. Nature that's the reality. So that's dharmata. Dharma, that's suchness. It's reality. So that this logic with the reasoning depend to the of suchness or the essence of suchness, or the reasoning comes from depend to the of the essence of dharmata. That's the third reasoning of these four kind of reasoning. How to judge the heating phenomena, or not have to heating as but the both of direct perception object or indirect perception object. You can judge depend the different level of the object. And then the fourth reasoning. Fourth reasonings we can say the reasoning as stabilization, maybe a stabilization. How say a stabilization reality? Maybe we can say a stabilizing reality or something. Stabilizing, I think maybe. Accomplishing maybe.
Establishing.
Stabilization or something like this. Establishing, yeah? Establishing. So that is the reality. So this is the proof. Actually means the evidence. Evidence is the final sign. That is final the science. Is the proofs. Finally, 100% sure means is if that cause 100% could be functioning that result. That result 100% sure is dependent to that cause and that conditions. Without that cause conditions cannot producing that result. And that result appears 100% sure dependent to that cause necessary dependent to that such cause and such conditions. So this means is the proof, the fourth reasoning. Finally, that means it's decided. There's no deceiving to you. That's science. Actually, that's because we're talking according to the mind science, but that is materiality science also same. So finally, so for example, now again we go to the simple example, the fire and the smoke. Smoke, the arresting smoke. So if one day, if possibilities there's totally is no fire, but it's can arresting smoke, the real, and then we lost this logic, But there's no possible. Nobody cannot find the real smoke, I'm saying. But if you mistake, of course, you can see many times they are like smoke, but it's not. But the real smoke must be from fire, So this is clear, 100% sure, right? So that means the reasoning of the arresting the smoke is 100% sure is depend to the burning of the fire, better fire. That's clear. And then this is from the result. And then from cause, judge, whenever you see burning fire, something is burning, and then there's some smoke. It's sure, it's there. Very clearly, of something is very tiny, but there's some smoke. Something is burning like trees. So that is we see and then why that means is why smoke cannot comes from like water or something other things, rock or mountain or some normal without fire. What that means is nature we mentioned you before. So when you saw 3 times from cause and effect and the relations always together, and you saw there's no fire and no smoke, something is And that means is then it's 100%. That's the proof. Is smoke can arising from fire. Fire can performing functioning the smoke. So this kind is the evidence with evidence in the proofs. That is stabilizing the establishment. So this the logic, the proofs, the reasoning of establishment, that is the finally then you can decide it. That is Dhamma. In Tibetan say Dhamma. Dhamma means Sanskrit language is Paramarna. Paramarna means is undeceptive logic, undeceiving logic or undeceptive object of knowledge. Paramarna means is Sadma Lumichan Shisha. That means is if something is not undeceptive, we cannot guarantee 100% is undeceptive what you want to recognize, and that is not Dhamma. But something you can guarantee 100% sure, but this cause, but these conditions, but this reason, and then it's 100% sure that is true. That means is Paramarna, is undeceptive logic. Dhamma is logic. The Paramarna. Paramarna logic means is undeceptive logic, not normal logic. Logic can also sometimes form the wrong. It's then wrong logic, wrong reasoning, and the wrong logic comes. That is not undeceptive object of knowledge. But is the logic born from the perfect, excellent reasoning, and then is the resultant, the Paramarna, the judgment, mind, knowledge is undeceptive. So that is real Dhamma. So Tibetan, the philosophy, the Buddhism philosophy, sense of the Hinayana and up to of the Mahayana traditions, explanations, these kind of all the conventional truth, the ultimate truth must be undeceptive object of knowledge, the Paramarna, with these four reasonings, and then can decide it, that is 100% true. So this is actually science, mind science, how to judge the reality. And this way now we just first and briefly introduce to you what means is Paramarna, what it means Dhamma, what means is logic, what means is four different kind of reasoning. They have various different kind of aspect of reasoning to judgment, but the various different kind of aspect of the reasoning to judgment, we can divide it into these four. The reasoning of result depend to the result, the reasoning depend to the functioning, and the result depend to the essence of dharmata, and the result of the proofs. So these four, finally. So in this way now let's just go the Buddha nature. We're going to check, because I mentioned you how we know Buddha nature pervading equally all sentient beings' mind. Buddha nature, how can we recognize that's a great impermanence? Why Buddha nature is unchangeable object? Should be, Excuse me. So now, what is the reasoning? You see, when you're going to like the same the logic, but a little bit different, the analogy is more maybe clear. You can get conviction. Like somebody you going to collect the gold, the treasure gold, So as you are the treasurer of the gold to find, then you must be know how you should be to know which ground, which sand, which stone is golden. It's gold stone or without it's this gold. Stone. You should be first to know the quality. If you found the quality of golden stone, golden ground, or golden sand, and then doesn't matter how it takes long, you need to effort, maybe you need patience, you need very hardships to get the gold to find from this stone, from this sand, or from this ground. You need to digging maybe very deep the ground or so on, text maybe. But anyway, sooner or later will never deceiving to you. The gold is coming because there's gold quality. This is stone. That stone is a golden stone. That is golden sand and golden ground. So it's your hardships have meaning. You will be sooner or later found gold, some piece of gold will be coming. But if you follow the wrong, because you are the technique, the method is wrong judge, is you recognize is the lacking of the without gold, the normal stone, normal sand, normal ground, without the quality of gold. And then if you try to digging, the stone is melting or something is, is make flower, something is hardships, weeks, months, years, what it comes at the end? Nothing. No gold. That will be deceiving to you. That means deceiving your hardships, will make you deceiving. Because you was follow wrong logic. So you was mistake. Therefore there's no result comes. The other one was they follow the red view and red reasoning. So therefore it will be sooner or later 100% sure gold is coming. But depend your effort still, So like this way, this is very clear, right? Is there's no gold qualities, and then the stone cannot become gold, no possible. If a golden stone, and then even you can see directly, but sooner or later, one day you can find some gold of this from stone. That means again is the relations, result and the functioning. The golden stone can function into giving the result of gold, But if somebody found the gold from this stone or that sand, that means that gold, that stone and that the same family of the sand is with quality, the gold quality is there. Because from result you can judge this ground is having gold. From the result gold you can judge this kind of stone is have golden, qualities. So you can judge. Why I'm saying this? Now let's check Buddha nature. somebody born from the menses like Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, extraordinary beings, Arya beings, noble beings comes from sentient being, normal, ordinary beings. That ordinary being's nature is same the quality of the resultant Buddha, Bodhisattva, Arya being, noble being. If there's no essence of Buddha nature to the sentient being's mind, and that's without the gold stone, and then just you melt it or whatever you do, but never you find gold, because there's no quality of gold. If sentient beings' nature have no quality of Buddha nature, and then even you do prostrations, meditations, purifications, collection, merits, generosity, something, so on, so purifications, so even eons, kalpas have no result. No possible. But that's not the case, because already result is like Gautama Buddha, for example. Not only one example. There's even if this during the 800 years I mentioned you during of the 13th century, beginning of 13th century to and the 20th century, between the 800 years, and the region will come, not region only come, the tradition of Catholic lineage followers in Tibet has become rainbow body. More than 100,000 people become enlightenment and the rainbow body. Rainbow body is the proof. You can see by your eye faculties, people become rainbow body, Unbelievable how during the death, he or her, the body, the corpse, is melted into lead, completely dissolved into the lead. So actually unbelievable, how can this physical body, this tangible body, this solitude object melting into lead, rainbow lead, how can? Unbelievable. But still, whether you believe or not, but it happened. That not only one, not only two, not only three, hundreds and hundreds become. We just several years before, means is 1990, in August of 1998, Khenpo Achu, one Tibetan abbot, the monk, he completely enlightenment with the rainbow body. Rinpoche Rinpoche's students. He asked keep his body after he died only 1 week, 7 days on his meditation seat and sleeping in the bed there. So he passed away, Khenpo Achu. in the Lemorong, the place, the region of Kham. In his wooden, the retreat house, the wooden house there. And then her disciples just follow his advice to keep, he didn't touch any, they only keep his body on his mat. He wearing the 3 orange monastic robes, and then he with the meditation posture, sitting meditation posture, sit on his meditation seat or the bed, he passed away with this. And then every day, the round everywhere is the far or close, big or small, doesn't matter. So many different colors, many different shapes of the rainbow, far and close, and the people they can see. And his body is become smaller and smaller every day. And the last day, the 7th day, only the monastery, the orange robe is flat, on the bed. His body completely exhaustion or completely dissolving into the lead, and the last day. Even he doesn't leave the fingernails and the hairs or the pores of body, because usually is 90%, 99% is can leave behind the hairs and the nails. Only the body flesh, this kind of all is become rainbow body, but it can leave behind the hairs and the nails. But the Khenpo Achu, he doesn't leave even the nails and the hairs, And then little bit more worry those students because they have no any proofs to showing people. It's completely gone, So, and then it's next year or several later years, and then his 2 disciples come to visit the pilgrimage into India, met His Holiness Dalai Lama and Dharamsala, and the explanation how Khenpo Achu was, enlightenment in rainbow body. And then is the next day or some days His Holiness teaching Dharamsala, I'm there, and also he explanation this, how the Khenpo Achu become rainbow body, But this has happened. That means is the proof that no need to doubt someone can be enlightenment from sentient beings. Someone can achievement Buddhahood and Bodhisattvas, Arya being, noble beings, supreme beings, enlightenment being, or the rainbow body. That is 100%. There's no need doubt. Scientific where you can judge, you can check, no need to microscope. Directly you come to see, you can see that directly they become rainbow body. That has happened, So therefore, it's someone if you found is become enlightenment like this kind of unusual. And very is as the unusual, specific, amazing, something unbelievable. This kind is you see. That means it's like gold. Someone found gold digging from ground, sand, this stone or that ground found gold. That means is this stone and that sand or that ground with quality. The gold quality is there. Without gold quality is no possible. I mentioned you normal ground. You digging 100 years you cannot find. The gold is not possible. Normal stone you melt it 100 times but cannot get even one piece of gold, not possible. But if with gold qualities and then it's coming sooner or later is gold. So that means is someone become Buddhahood from sentient beings, from ordinary beings, That means is ordinary beings nature is Buddha nature. The seed is there prevailing there already. Does it make sense? Yes, that is the logic. From reasoning. So from the like smoke, the reasoning depend to the smoke to judge fire, at the behind of mountain, like, or the deep of forest, you can judge fire, like. So therefore the reasoning depend to the someone enlightenment can judge Buddha nature pervading sense from beginningless to the nature mind. Not circumstantially Buddha nature, because that means because the gold cannot circumstantially after melting without gold, and then suddenly gold comes, not possible, from the stone, from the ground, from the sand, So similar, because what this stone is with quality gold, but not after later burning and then comes gold, no, it doesn't. Then if this is true, then every stone you can burn, then comes gold, but no possible, isn't it? So therefore, each sentient beings can enlightenment Buddha. Each the golden qualities, if you melt it and there comes gold. But when comes gold, from the when we found the gold from golden stone. Some is just next day, some is that day, some is maybe it's 100,000 years. Because this earth created millions years before. Some the gold stone already at the same was born this earth, gather is gold. There, but still not yet we found. That means it takes long. Some already we found many, we digging the gold. So similar, some already enlightenment, Buddhahood, some still yet not. Does it make sense? Okay, so therefore now we need to effort to find the real of the enlightenment, gold-like the enlightenment. Because we need to purifications, the obscuration of the stone-like obscuration, the ground-like, the earth-like obscuration, the sand-like obscuration. We need to melting or washing or whatever we need the techniques how to use seeking the gold similar. That means we need to purification, meditation, practice, generosity, learning, studying, recognition, the judgment, so on, so on, so on, so many method. Because digging the ground, digging the gold, they have many methods, right? Ancient times less, the chance to get easily, not easy. Modern is more easy because the technology is very high, So therefore, it's also is when we have the rich traditions and then easy, you can enlightenment. Poor traditions takes very long to achievement the Buddha nature, the realization Buddha nature. But sooner or later, anyway, everybody, you have the potential to achievement enlightenment. Anybody have the potential to realization, true nature, because your nature is Buddha. So this is from the reasoning. We can judge from reason and comes from them, sentient being, normal being. Shakyamuni Buddha was very ordinary being, more worse than us, because he was born temporary hell realm. That. So was, I'm saying, okay, Buddha, beginning, the very ordinary. So this kind of very ordinary and slowly in become extraordinary. And the end is enlightenment, Buddhahood comes. But from the nature mind, the seed already sown there. So this from reasoning you can judge to the sentient being's nature is Buddha. That's one. And then this Buddha comes from sentient being. That means is better of second the reasoning. Reasoning depends to the functioning, the consequence, the cause. Because Buddha was very, very ordinary, But this you can judge to the result because omniscient mind comes. Gautama Buddha comes from very ordinary, very beginning. It's like the Siddhartha or so on. Siddhartha, ordinary Siddhartha has become also extraordinary Gautama Buddha. Or hundreds, thousands, millions before his historical of the life, different life is done. So of course there's many different stories, So finally become enlightenment, Buddhahood. So therefore, this quality means that sentient being, this kind of quality, the clarity, awareness, mind, is the source of Buddha. Our nature mind could become source of future Buddha. Future Buddha comes from, born from our nature mind. That is. So I'm sure future gold is anybody or factories they found more gold. The source is from golden stone or golden sand or golden ground. Future, same. So that is the Buddha nature. So now questions again. The third reason. Why? The clarity, awareness is as functioning to performing suchness, wisdom, manliness, wisdom, a great method of compassion, the qualities of Buddhas, the effect of the qualities Buddhas. Why can born from this? This Buddha nature, our nature mind, how can have functioning to giving this result? And why this result comes from this quality? But this quality, why can performing of that result? How you answer? That's nature. Exactly. The third reason. The reasoning essence of dharmata. Apple fruit, why producing from apple seed? Why not apple fruit from orange seed? nature. That's the nature. The nature, the essence, the reasoning depends to the of essence nature. So therefore, why is the Buddha's the enlightenment mind is only from sentient beings? Why not from pillar, from the rock, from mountain, from stone, from water? Why not? Because it's the nature. Everything have nature rule. If enlightenment mind can born from just solitude object only, like pillar, one and followers can enlightenment, then is breaking the nature rule. That means apple fruit can born from orange seed, but no possible. Therefore, trees cannot be enlightenment. The rock cannot be enlightenment. The pillar cannot be enlightenment. The horse cannot enlightenment. Your car cannot be enlightenment. No possible.